Hey everyone, Brian from Bearable Traders, Sunday, August 25th. So we had another wild and crazy day on the market last week, and so we're just going to take a look at that. Look ahead, I see for the futures right now are indicating a significantly lower open from Friday's sell-off, so I think the selling will continue. But I think, this problem is we've got this TINA thing going on, which is, of course, there's no other alternative. So I think that that's going to support the market with interest rates continuing to drop here. So we'll see what happens. um, yeah, so let's just take a look at. You can see Friday's price action on all the markets. I mean, this is when I believe when the news about the new Chinese tariffs came off. Interesting timing on that. I don't exactly understand why they made that announcement on a Friday, other than it was leading up to the G7, and I don't know what they were expecting to accomplish. But whatever it was, the market sold off, and of course, the U.S. is going to respond with more tariffs. So that's not necessarily a good thing if you're looking for a resolution to the trade war that's going on. So let's just we can take a look at the groups here, but I'm going to see a lot of red. Kind of interesting. Conglomerates were the one thing that kind of came out on the week. Utilities, of course, safe to trade. Not surprised to find that there. 1 month again, conglomerates and utilities still hanging in there. Interesting. The rest of it's all pretty much red right now. Let's take a look at we go through the indexes. The 10-year Treasury again looks like the interest rates are heading lower. I think that now they're betting almost 100% for sure that Fed is going to take another interest rate cut in September. Probably that's the going bet right now. Odds-on favorite is the weekly. You can see this heading lower, right back down to the low, and we may actually head lower yet. We're really extended on the RSI here down to 18, and yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be trending up anytime soon with all this stuff going on. It's a really unusual market. I don't think I've ever recalled trading such a volatile market that's just trading on one piece of news. Can send things going 300 points on the Dow, 500 points on the Dow, one direction. Here's the Dow, obviously big, looked like we were going to have a decent day on Friday until the news hit, and then we sold off and closed right at the 200-day moving average. So it'll be interesting if this holds, but yeah, we're kind of trading in this range here, 25.5 to 26.4 by the looks of it. And we may just be looking like this for quite a while, up and down, which makes it difficult to swing trade. There's not as many opportunities. And, even though it looks like we are chopping in a range on the daily, the weekly definitely looks like we are heading lower on the Dow. So bias would be to the downside. Small caps, of course, they haven't done very well. Even in this good market, they never really got back up to the high here. And now we're just right back down to what was support here in June. Prior support here in this last sell-off, middle of August, and now we're right back down there again. So we'll see how we open up, and we could, let's take a look at the weekly, see where we could be going. Yeah, if we lose this level, there's a whole lot of, maybe 142 might hold, 142.90. But again, if we lose that, I mean, there's all the way down to this 200-day moving average here. TZA would be the way to play it long. TZA, it's an ETF that does well when the small caps sell off. Qs, again, right back down to pretty close to an area of support here. We'll see what happens on Monday if we lose that or can hold it. Probably going to open up lower, but probably it's going to depend on where we close out the day, whether we get a rally at the end of the day. SPY, again, same story. RSI rolling over, big volume on Friday. But I think on the week overall, generally speaking, this weekly volume on all these indices have been dropping off here, probably in part due to the time of year. August is usually a quieter time, so not as much volume. Traders on holidays, but the machines are still working. And you can see here the SPY. We're right where again we had a down week, pretty significant down week, but we're a little ways away from this 50 moving average, and pretty close to this prior level of resistance, which has now become support. Let's take a look at the dollar. The dollar took a beating on Friday, just with all the trade talk news. Probably heading back down into this range here, but I would expect it to hold, and maybe might actually even, if you wanted to play the dollar, it doesn't have a great range in trading, but it's only 30 cents here from top to bottom, but you might see that bounce. VIX, of course, went higher on Friday. Usually on a Friday it would you'd see a bit of a sell-off as volatility tends to drop off towards the end of the day, but on Friday we did have a bit of a pullback there at the end of the day. But I suspect we'll open up, if we're going to open up down 300 on the Dow tomorrow, we're going to be going higher with the VIX. See what we got on watch. These sell-offs do create opportunities for us. There's Baba. Baba was super strong. Look where it rejected right at this previous point of resistance, just almost to the T. I sold some puts, or some calls, I should say, last week on Baba. I'm not really posting these options trades. Maybe I should do them, but I sold some up here, and expecting to see some resistance. I really didn't expect these candles here, but I kind of expected a pullback and then maybe some choppy price action, and my call was going to expire worthless at the end of the week. But as it turns out, it did expire worthless, and wasn't even close to this strike price that I had sold the calls at. So that was a nice little play. KBH, I mentioned this in my midweek review last week. I was looking at this, and I was actually looking at it for a pullback, but I never really got the pullback I was hoping to get. And with a low interest rate environment, I just looked like it was going to break out. So I'm going to maybe just keep an eye on that one. It does, it actually, on a bad day, it traded, what did it do? It opened at 27.16 and closed at 28.09. So it actually opened up a buck on Friday, despite the brutal sell-off. So you can just see that there was some good buying there. This is a good thing to do when you're seeing wild market moves. Look for things that are performing abnormally when everything else is going to into the handbasket, as they say. So just keep an eye on KBH Homes. KWeb again pulling back here on these news. I mean, it might be an interesting entry at 40. Could be some prior support there. It's kind of where it broke out, right around this 39.90 level. So I would set an alert at 39.90, see if it gets there, and maybe look at an entry. NVDA is something, again, NVIDIA has been strong, and I thought, this is something probably to keep an eye on. The 50 crossed the 200. That's a pretty positive sign. Now we had a real significant pullback. So this one might be something worth keeping an eye on. Lots of good news on NVIDIA. I think good earnings came out. That's what this gap was, or some announcement about some partnership. So, these are ones that could easily bounce back when the market comes to finishes selling, and then we get back into the Tina thing. PayPal, another one. This was a swing trade we did, and was a really short swing trade. Got it on a pullback at 108.30, I think it was 108, where I took the entry, and then sold some at 109.30, I think it was, and then my target was 110, and we hit 110. Fortunately, I did have my entry there for taking an exit, and took the rest of it. And I know a few other people took that trade as well. and we got a nice pop out of that. But I'm certainly glad we ended up getting out of it, or I got out of it on Friday, because it really took a beating. Actually, go back to PayPal. Um, yeah, I'm not sure if I'd be. Yeah, I could look for an entry back around the 105 level if it got there. Um, Stop around 104. If you can get in 104.50, it would even be better. But I'm thinking eventually these will bounce again. Roku's another one. Look at this. It's it's been strong. It was strong Friday. It really didn't sell off that much, even though it did. It actually just pretty much closed flat on the day. We just had like this doji candle here. So again, something to watch. I mean, if we get a bit of a pullback on Roku tomorrow, then might be worth taking an entry around 130, 134-ish. Yeah, somewhere in that range. See if we can get there. It's certainly been strong. Silver and gold. Silver just broke out, and missed out on this trade unfortunately. But of course, big move on Friday. Not sure what to do with that right now. I'm just going to leave it square right back down to prior support here, right in this range, 160.50. So again, if we get a pullback here in the morning back down to 60.50, I'd be looking at maybe taking a long on that, using a stop of around 60, and hoping for a bounce back up to the 63, 64 level maybe. I always like to watch, natural gas. It's been kind of hasn't really been trending much lately, so I'm really finding any trade in that right now. Oil took a big hit on Friday, obviously, if the economy is going into a tank. Oil's not going to do well, and I believe also this. If we look at the energy sector ETF, I mean it's just a ugly looking chart here. It's right back down at prior support, and I almost think we're going to go lower here. Big volume on Friday too, lots of selling, big volume. People concerned about the economy and and the demand for oil. It's already dropping a little bit because of electric cars and all this renewable energy, and now we've got the slowing economy is also going to be weighing on it. So there could be some more downside here down to on the XLE. It could be another $1.50 down here. So all right, see what we got coming up next week. Let's wrap things up. Monday we've got 4 earnings. I don't think we've got much. We do have durable goods. We got about 60 earnings this week. Nothing really too outstanding. Schmuckers, Hewlett Packard. No economic events. An economic events Wednesday. We've got oil. Yeah, nothing too exciting here. We do have jobless claims. They're the claims for unemployment, I should say. Euro area consumer confidence should be interesting. Japan consumer confidence. We've got Workday and Umbrella. And then Friday, I think we've got core PCP, EPI, and consumer sentiment. So got a few little things going on. This is my book, How to Trade, Swing Trade, on Amazon. If you haven't checked it out already, feel free. It's there for the taking. Also, I will be in the variable trading room on Tuesday or Monday morning, I should say. But the rest of the week, I am going to be on vacation, and quite often when I'm on vacation, I do jump into the room anyway. But I am going to a place where there will not be internet access, so we'll be off the grid, as they say. So everyone have a good week. I'm going to keep. I'm not going to be holding anything through the week while I'm away. There's just no way for me to monitor my position, so we're just going to stay in cash. And when I come back and get internet access, I'll be interested to see what happened during the week. So I'll be back online here on the weekend, and post a review. So anyway, enjoy your week, everyone. We'll see you in the Bear Bull Trading Room. I will be there Monday morning. That'll be my last day for the week, and short week for me. Have a good one, everyone. Hope you had a good weekend, and we'll talk to you in the morning if you're in the room with us. Bye for now.